And we back. Welcome back to another episode of the Get Buckets podcast, powered by Hardwood Basketball. I'm your host, Musa Marathi, and today I just wanted to talk about TR versus Berea, Travelers Rest versus Berea. I'm gonna keep it brief. I did show up to the game at like basically halftime, so I didn't watch the full thing. But I still watched like what people would consider the half that matters. And I did want to give my take on it. I'm trying to reach every school in the Greenville County area, and I was able to go watch this game, and it was actually a thriller. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to Berea the first time when they played TR, this game was a thriller. So I just had to give my take real quick. I do have notes on this one, so it will be a little bit more organized. And the first thing that wanted to talk about was the TR was able to win without a great Caleb Mills game. And this was actually my first time ever watching Caleb Mills play. Senior guard from TR, and I put him in my breakout players list, I believe, or yeah, because he was an all region player last year on a region team, so on a championship region team. So I just expected him to go crazy this year. And I mean, watching him yesterday, it definitely seemed like a not as well played game than I feel like he could have. But still got the victory. TR did win this game in the end, and that's basically. I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I mean, the stats will definitely come, but he didn't play too great. But nonetheless, I know he's a senior. He's gonna get the job done. Next thing I had to mention was Drew McKibben just being a big body for TR. And really, this also goes into the fact that Berea has no height. I mean, their tallest player was Jaden Williams, who is only a freshman. And to be honest, he kind of held his own against Drew. I feel like Jaden Williams outplayed Drew McKibben. And this is no slight to Drew because honestly, they don't find him a bunch. But Jaden Williams a a smart player for his age, and is just smart around the rim, pump fakes and all that, and was just able to find openings. And while guarding Drew in a way that Drew wasn't just posting up and scoring. I did see Drew get a dunk, but that's neither here nor there. Jaden Williams did hold his own. Even though Berea did lose, he held his own, and it wasn't because of the. Honestly, I don't think it was purely the height factor. The reason that they lost this game, the reason I feel like they might have lost this game, is just uh, I really can't put a finger on it. Berea was down the whole time I saw them. They never actually took the lead, but they kept it close, and then it would get a little bit further. They get down by a little bit more, but then they come back. So I can't exactly put a finger on what made them lose this game because TR did have some turnovers that I feel like Berea took advantage of, but it seemed like TR would run a set play or beat the press down the court and just score. And when Berea would hit a three, they would hit a three. So it was kind of like that game where they kept about the same lead the whole game. And wow, so Berea was basically unable to come back. Berea does have smaller guard AJ at the front of their little press that they have. And he's a rowdy guard. He's always gonna try and get in someone's head. He's not really a scorer for them, but he's always gonna be a hustle player. He's a junior this year, and I know AJ's always. I've known him for a while. Used to play AAU against him. He's always gonna be a hard defensive player, nonetheless, even if points do not come. Uh, yes, Jake Earl from TR Travelers Rest. Did want to mention him. I actually didn't even know who this was until the game. TR I feel like it's kind of off in that area where, I mean, I don't really see them. A lot of people playing AAU. They probably do, but maybe they don't play in as close areas as everybody in Greenville. And you just don't see a lot of TR basketball players around the Greenville area. Like they're kind of far off a little bit. But Jake Earl, man, just a long, I would say a big. Yeah, he probably is a big. At the same time, he was able to shoot the ball as well, and just has length. Like he can guard. He was guarding the guards. I believe he was on Jaleel McGee, who, by the way, I think his hand is hurt, but he still had a solid game. But Jake Earl, I realized like, dang, this man, like, it's probably harder to get around him just because of the length he brings, and he can score on the opposite end. There was a time he went on like a 5 to 7 scoring spree by himself. So just to see that from Jake Earl was pretty. It was pretty cool, especially because I didn't know. It was my first time watching TR basketball ever. Maybe I think I might have seen him a few years ago, but it's a completely different team now. So it was fun to watch that for sure. Ryder Stauffer as well. I feel like I've seen him before, but also another guy that's taller in height, but can also handle the ball a little bit, putting pressure on the Berea defense. So I was going in this thinking it's Caleb Mills' team, but Caleb Mills has a good amount of help around him. Guys like Ryder Stauffer to handle the ball and just take the load off of him. And of course, can't forget Ja Wiggins from TR, the small muscular guard. I've known Ja for a good minute now. I know him as Nuke, but he plays in the same AAU organization as me. And Ja, once again, another tough nosed player, was trying to get under the skin of Kingston Brown a little bit. Who Kingston Brown, I feel like, had a solid game. Doesn't shoot much, but I mean he can hit most of the, like, when he does shoot it goes in at least 50% of the time, which isn't bad. Obviously, that's a solid percentage. So, Ja was trying to get in Kingston Brown's head a little bit, but that's just what he does. Ja's gonna go out there and compete. If anything, he definitely has some key steals. I don't know if they all led to points, but at least gave them another possession where they could run their offense and get going. He's always gonna make those hustle plays. Kind of a point guard, but just a guard in general. I don't think I saw him shoot the ball one time, but hey, if that's the game plan, it obviously works because I mean they have a solid record. I believe they're like 7-3 right now. What else from that I noticed that in the game? How can I even forget, man? Destin Equal. Hope I don't say this wrong. Eckelberger from Berea, number 5 on Berea. Another sophomore from a young team. I think they have one senior on the team this year. Like I said, they lost 10 seniors, so that's gonna, which I thought would hurt them more. They still like 6-4 on the season, which is great, honestly. Destin Equalberger had a solid performance in what I saw. I'm not exactly sure what he did in the first half, but what I saw in the second, hitting threes, they find him. He was getting to the basket at will. And there was a time I feel like he went on an 8-0 run for Berea by himself, and just seeing that was fun. I've played him in my past as well. I believe he plays for the Carolina Nuggets, or did at least a couple seasons ago. And he's a solid guard, and I actually did not realize he went to Berea. So that's just another guard that will help them for the future. The future of Berea is quite bright now that I realize it. Guys like Jaden Williams, I feel like if he grows a little bit too, he gives off some Ezel Dodd type vibes. Probably, maybe even a little better. I see a lot of potential in Jaden Williams. And then Kingston Brown, obviously, brother to Savion Brown. He's got that. He's got the, not as tall as Savion, but he's still going to go out there and compete. He plays on a high-level AAU team, being 1SC. So he knows the game. He's been playing for years. So no matter if he was taller or not, he's still going to go out there. He's still a threat. He can shoot the ball. He can pass. For someone his size, he doesn't turn the ball over much. And he honestly makes the right play a good amount. I saw 1-3 he hit, and he was right next to Ja. I don't know exactly what he said to him, but I know he was talking his stuff, especially because Ja's gonna be talking back. So, that was fun to see, and it was rowdy. I can't lie. The arena, or the gym, I guess you should say, not an arena, was getting into it. It was definitely fun to watch. I think these two teams are quote unquote rivals at this point. I mean, I never seen them play each other, but they were getting into it for sure. And there were a few calls. I know that it was at TR, but I think there might have been a few calls that I know went TR's way, but I guess that's that home court advantage. But overall, just a fun game. Even though I only watched the second half of it, I did get a good amount of info off of it, and I'm glad I got to watch these two teams play. I definitely want to see them play again in the future, especially because Berea is having this season, this what I thought was a surprising season. But like I said, I apologize in my earlier video. They're a solid team, man. They compete for sure. And what else? What should I leave this on? Caleb Mills, senior year. I got you on my breakout players list. Go out there and kill. Let's go. It's go time, baby. Almost region. Without further ado, though, I got the black background going on. This is the last one. I'm about to change it to that Christmas background. But without further ado, that will conclude this one. And hope everyone has a great day. And until next time, peace.